Imagine someone breaking into your home. They take your dog or your cat, not because your pet has done anything wrong, not because they're sick, not because they're dangerous, but because someone somewhere has decided they need to inject chemicals into them, cut them open, infect them with disease, or expose them to toxic substances, all in the name of science. Would you accept it, or would you call it cruelty? Now ask yourself another question. If it's wrong when it's your dog, why is it acceptable when it's someone else's? Every year, millions of animals are used in laboratories around the world. Dogs, cats, rabbits, mice, monkeys, fish, even dolphins. Some never see daylight, some never experience kindness. Many never leave alive. The uncomfortable truth is that most of us benefit from products that may have come from animal testing, yet few people ever stop to ask whether it still needs to happen. Today we're asking exactly that. Animal experimentation is far older than most people realize. Ancient Greek physicians were performing experiments on living animals more than 2,000 years ago. By the Renaissance, scientists increasingly relied on animals to understand anatomy, disease, and surgery. During the 19th century, animal experimentation exploded. Dogs, cats, horses, rabbits, frogs, and countless other animals became tools in laboratories throughout Europe and North America. Scientists argued that every major medical breakthrough justified the suffering. Critics argued something different, that intelligence does not grant moral superiority, that progress without compassion is simply another form of brutality. Those arguments have never really gone away. By the 20th century, public attitudes began to change. People no longer saw laboratory animals as disposable objects. Organizations dedicated to animal welfare grew rapidly. Graphic photographs from laboratories shocked the public. Newspapers published investigations. Campaigners demanded laws limiting unnecessary suffering. Many countries introduced ethical review boards, licensing systems, and welfare regulations. But regulations did not end animal testing. They simply attempted to make it less cruel. The central question remained unanswered. Should animals be used at all? Today, animal testing continues in several major fields: medical research, drug development, chemical safety, academic research, agricultural science, veterinary medicine. Some experiments genuinely attempt to cure devastating diseases. Others test household chemicals. Some evaluate pesticides. Others involve cosmetics and luxury consumer products. Millions of mice remain the most commonly used laboratory animals. But dogs, particularly beagles because of their gentle temperament, are still used in some pharmaceutical testing. Cats are used in neurological research. Monkeys continue to be used in studies involving infectious diseases and brain function. The very traits that make these animals intelligent, trusting, and emotionally complex are often the reason scientists choose them. That irony is difficult to ignore. Perhaps no area generates more public outrage than cosmetic testing. No one's life depends on a new shade of lipstick or a different shampoo fragrance, yet for decades, animals endured painful eye irritation tests and skin exposure experiments for products designed purely for consumer preference. Fortunately, public pressure has achieved real victories. Many countries now prohibit or severely restrict cosmetic animal testing or the sale of newly animal-tested cosmetics. Consumers increasingly demand cruelty-free alternatives. Companies have discovered something remarkable. People are willing to support businesses that choose compassion over convenience. Perhaps the least discussed chapter involves military research. Throughout history, armies have used animals in warfare: horses, carrier pigeons, dogs, even dolphins. Some military programs train dolphins to locate underwater mines or detect enemy divers. Reports have also described experimental concepts involving explosive delivery systems using marine mammals, though many of these claims remain disputed or classified. Regardless of the exact details, one question remains: should any animal be conscripted into human conflict? Animals do not declare wars, they do not vote, they do not choose sides, yet they often suffer alongside us, sometimes because of us. For generations, defenders of animal testing argued there was simply no alternative. That statement is becoming harder to defend. Artificial intelligence can now predict chemical toxicity with remarkable accuracy. Machine learning models analyze enormous biological data sets. Digital twins simulate organs. Human cell cultures provide results often more relevant than animal biology. Organ-on-chip technologies create miniature human organs inside laboratories. In many areas, these methods are faster, cheaper, more reproducible, and often better predictors of how humans actually respond. Animal biology is not human biology. A drug that succeeds in mice frequently fails in people. AI doesn't eliminate every challenge, but every year it reduces the justification for using living animals as experimental tools. Technology is offering us something extraordinary, scientific progress without unnecessary suffering. If alternatives increasingly exist, why does animal testing continue? Part of the answer is regulation. Many governments still require certain animal safety data before approving medicines or chemicals, although some are beginning to modernize these requirements. Changing decades of legal framework takes time. Part of the answer is economics. Entire industries were built around established testing systems. Replacing them requires investment and regulatory confidence. Some governments have gone further than others in restricting animal testing, especially for cosmetics. Others continue to permit it broadly under existing scientific and legal standards. The question citizens should ask is simple. When better alternatives exist, whose interests are really being protected? Tradition, profit, or public safety? Every living creature experiences fear, comfort, pain, safety, the desire to continue living. That alone deserves moral consideration. History is filled with practices once considered normal that later generations recognized as deeply wrong. Perhaps animal testing will one day join that list. The measure of civilization is not merely how advanced our technology becomes. It's how we choose to treat those with the least power to defend themselves. If artificial intelligence can replace suffering, if modern science can achieve better results without cages, then continuing unnecessary animal testing becomes less a scientific necessity and more a moral choice. A society should never be judged solely by how it treats its strongest members. It should be judged by how it treats those who have no voice at all. Because the right to live free from unnecessary suffering should never depend on whether a creature can speak our language. If this sounds like something I'm passionate about, it's because I am. I can't understand why anyone would only be woken up to the issue by a video like this. Why is everyone not born with a moral conscience that says, hang on, this is wrong? We have no right to inflict harm on anyone, on any living creature. No matter what moral justification we use, let me say one thing. You're fucking wrong. Stop treating creatures as if they're here for our purposes. They're not. There's absolutely no need for it. The truth is, there never was. We simply chose the easier path, regardless of who got hurt in the process. If you like this video, please hit subscribe, and thanks again for watching.